What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And today we're having a look at the brand new Pirate Alliance Kizuna Clash. And we're going to be doing a little bit of team prep. We're going to be showing, more free-to-play centered teams in this video. And when the official event does drop, we will be bringing you multiple different teams and stuff. So look forward to that. But we want to make our attention known to the One Piece Treasure Cruise Twitter account, where they've gone ahead and just posted us all of the gimmicks, which is great. And instead of giving us an infographic, they've just gone ahead and just posted the screenshots of what we should be expecting for the fights, which I think is also kind of a nice thing. I think both ways would work fine, but either way, let's go ahead and start breaking down each of these fights. We have the Dex fight coming up first, and Shiki is the main boss, so there is no free-to-play unit this time around, which is a huge missed opportunity. I don't like that they do that. I mean, just literally pluck a random unit out from Film Red, give them abilities, make that the boss. I don't care. Just more free-to-play units is always good. Like, this is just... I don't like this. It just seems a little lazy. But anyways, I digress. Let's actually talk about the content. So versus Dex, 10-star difficulty. No super bosses, by the way. Powerhouse and Slashers receive cooldowns, so you want to build a strength team focusing on Powerhouse or Slasher. So as soon as I say strength unit with Powerhouse, there's one unit that comes to mind immediately. Battle 2, there's going to be 5 turns of Special Bind only to the crewmates. So it means that you don't need to worry about your captains, or if your captains have an ability to get rid of Special Bind, that would work fine. Then on the final boss stage, there is a full immunity, a full board of badly matching slots, 5 turns of attack down, 8 turns of despair, which is pretty harsh. And then it says that once the boss HP goes over a certain threshold, typically it means level 30 onwards, then there's going to be additional gimmicks where there's going to be 2 hits of hunger. That's annoying. And there's also going to be an increase of +1 turns of attack down and +1 turns of despair. So it goes to 6 turns of attack down and 9 turns of despair. So that means it goes down to 6 turns when you apply sockets on top of it. So 6 turns of despair you have to get rid of, 6 turns of attack down, and 2 hits of hunger. So this is the free-to-play team composition that we have for this quest. So one thing to note just about this really quickly, because some people are going to say this is weird, this category is meant to be the 6+, not on the damage calculator right now, and same thing for this Sanji. This is the new treasure map Sanji that we're all farming for right now as of this video going live, I believe. So yes, this is the regular TM Sanji, and the reason for it is because obviously category 6+ is wicked, he's a powerhouse captain, and technically speaking, he is free to play if you farmed the previous season of Pirate Rumble. Now this other unit here is meant to be TM Sanji, and the reason why we're using him is because of his potential ability, one of which is hunger. Going to be pretty valuable for the team comp. Now remember, on Battle 2 there's going to be Special Bind given to your crewmates. We have Moria to get rid of Special Bind for our Powerhouse and Driven unit, so that's going to be the entire team. And then also for the final stage, we've got the 6 turns of attack down removal with Jack, also providing color affinity. We have an attack boost with Katakuri. We have an orb boost with Kaido. We have the attack down removal via the, well, it's the despair removal, should I say. Despair removal and attack down is both by Charlotte Linlin, but Jack is a really good option because you can activate the super class special of Kaido to get Wano slots, which is obviously very, very valuable. And with all that being said, like, that literally gets around everything. It's probably not the most amazing team out there, but it does get around everything. These characters are free to play, and you should be able to get pretty decent damage at a bare minimum. You know, obviously both Jack and Kaido are going to hit extremely hard, and the increased damage taken, especially if you get like a high level Kaido. Even though the Super Tandem, yeah, if you can get the Super Tandem to activate, I think. No, none of these are strikers actually, so you do need like a 3rd striker character to activate the Super Tandem, though probably not going to be a super ideal option anyway, but at least you get increased damage taken through immunity. Absolutely busted with Kaido, of course. It should last a pretty decent amount of time, but obviously we can't calc exactly how good or bad the team is right now. Making sure though that you get Katakuri's attack boost over Big Mom's, because you don't want the Linlin attack boost. It is a little weaker, and you know, Katakuri boosts the whole team rather than Linlin only boosting, you know, after 3 hits basically. So anyways, that's the first team that we have, free to play team versus the Dex fight. So now we get to move on to the secondary fight, which is versus Quick. Now, Dex and Quick characters receive cooldown here, so obviously building just mono Dex is going to be great. 5 turns of Rainbow Shield on battle 2. Boss fight, immune to everything except for increased damage taken. So there's a couple of characters that come to mind straight away with that. Final Tap Law is going to be a pretty solid option because, I mean, he already applies the increased damage taken through immunity anyway, but still going to be an option. And also you have the new Zoro and Sanji character that came through One Piece Day. Their special gives you huge color affinity, good orb change, and does apply increased damage taken. So he's probably going to be one of the best options to build with in this fight. There's also 5 turns of resilience. There's going to be a chain reduction for 5 turns, and there's going to be a 5-turn 2.0 or less attack down chain multiplier effect. So essentially you need a really good chain lock, or you need to remove the chain coefficient reduction and then apply a really good chain lock. So that's going to be kind of annoying, the fact that that is there. Now, after the boss HP reaches a certain level, typically level 30, there's going to be all of your type slots are treated as badly matching for 5 turns. There's also going to be +1 to increased resilience, and there's also going to be +1 turns to the chain coefficient reduction. So yeah, pretty annoying. Basically, you want to try and apply a chain lock, unless if you have a really good way to get around the chain multiplicative down effect. Also, the fact that the resilience goes up to 6, there is another character that you could think about using, Legend Hiyori, because of her captain ability and her super type. Her super type resists or gets rid of 7 turns of enemy resilience, and then her special gives you a full board of Wano slots, which gets around the type slots counted as badly matching after level 30. So those are, you know, a couple of characters you can be thinking about to get around this particular fight. So let's go ahead and get into the free-to-play team. So this is the free-to-play team that we have. Just a little bit of a note once again, some characters are not available on the calculator. We do have the Legend Hiyori. This is not Legend Hiyori, but that is supposed to be Legend Hiyori. And then this is supposed to be the free-to-play Toki that we actually got through the turtle farming event. Now, remember that there is Rainbow Shield on Battle 2. This is why we use the Cypher Pole number 9 character. They switch into the captain spot for 1 turn. They give a pretty decent boost to slashes, and they get rid of 5 turns of Rainbow Shield. And then after you kill that stage and you move on to the next stage, he will swap back to the crewmate, so that's not going to be too bad of an option. Now, Hiyori, remember, gives you a full board of Wano slots, so you don't have to worry about getting matching slots. Also, her super type effect, you need to have 6 characters on your crew that are either cerebral or slasher. So even though you're building a mono Dex team, typically, you'd still have to make sure that you are fulfilling the conditions of the classes and the colors and stuff for her super type. So you do need those characters, which makes it a bit annoying, but her super type effect is good, getting rid of the resilience, which is awesome. We have the Dophian Treble, which can provide a chain lock for multiple turns. You can use them on Battle 2. I think you have to hit a lot of perfects though. 4 perfects you have to hit, so maybe you want to save it just for the last stage, just as a heads up. And then of course, if you have a full board of Wano slots, when you use the free-to-play Toki effect, you'll get color affinity and an attack boost, and then Zoro Sanji provide a really good orb boost. And of course, we can't calculate how much damage we do with the team, but remember you can use Shark Superb Ship as well. This should do a pretty sizable amount of damage to the boss, and even after the level 30 boss fight, obviously the chain lock is going to deal with the chain coefficient reduction, Hiyori deals with the slots and also the resilience. So yeah, don't really need to worry about it too much. You can probably get more damage, of course, if you use summonable characters. Final Tap Law for increased damage taken, Zoro Sanji, another really good character you could be using. There's a lot of other really good replacements, but in terms of free to play, this is a pretty solid team. Now we get to the last fight, which is the versus Sci fight, and of course with the Sci fight there's going to be Powerhouse and Cerebral get cooldown, so you got to build an int team focusing on either Powerhouse or Cerebral. You don't have to be an Einstein to figure out who's going to be the optimal captain here, right? Battle 2, 5 turns of attack down. Then, there is an interrupt if you activate an attack boost, where they remove your beneficial effects and accumulated values and give 3 turns of Rainbow Shield. Obviously, Uta is going to be the option here, because she gets around that. On the boss stage, there's going to be full immunity. There is going to be removing of your beneficial effects. So it's going to remove the Uta buff, which remember, Uta will still apply an effect after the fact, which is good. 8 turns of bind to your middle row. 5 turns of paralysis as well. Uta deals with the paralysis. And then there's an interrupt if you use an orb boosting effect. They remove your beneficial effects. And they bind 3 random characters for 5 turns. Don't want to do that, of course. And then after the boss has reached a certain HP threshold, the bind gets +1, so it goes to 9. The paralysis is +1, goes to 6. There is going to be 1 turn of special reverse. Uta deals with that. and your specials are going to be locked for charge, which of course you don't have to worry if you're using Uta as a captain. So essentially, use Uta, you're gonna have a good time. So in terms of what we can do to get around all of these annoying gimmicks, of course, remember Uta is going to be the ideal unit here. This isn't not an optimal team. There's actually not a lot of good int cerebral characters that are free to play that work with Uta for this fight. There's not a lot of good characters you can use. So hopefully you have some summonable units to make your life a whole lot easier. So on the actual boss stage, or on the mini boss, there's going to be 5 turns of attack down. Crocodile removes that. Halloween Crocodile. He also provides a 3.5 attack boost to int characters, so not too bad free to play, not too bad. You could potentially opt for like the treasure map Sanji's a captain. I believe he's like a 3.75 goes up to a 4.25 for int. So you could use something like that, but either way, you use him on battle 2, and you obviously use Uta as well. So you get all of those amazing, all the amazing buffs. And then when you reach the final stage, there is going to be the removing of beneficial effects, bind to your middle row. It's 8 turns. It'll be 9 turns with the level 30 or over, goes down to 6 turns. So at base level, it's 5 turns after sockets, goes to 6 turns after level 30. This Orochi actually helps you out here because he gets rid of 8 turns of bind, and he gets rid of 8 turns of paralysis. So even if you're not using Uta yourself, even just using Orochi to get around all of those gimmicks, actually pretty good. So that's nice, gets around the bind. And then of course there's going to be the paralysis, which is fine. Uta deals with that. Uta deals with the special reverse. So, you know, you just need him to get around the bind pretty much. So that makes things a lot easier. Now Custard, if you don't have Custard, you basically just need to replace her with someone that gives you matching slots. Ideally, you put the VV support on this character to give her a matching slot. Her special changes all orbs on all characters into whatever orb that she has when you activate her special. So with VV support, give her an int slot. Custard special gives everyone an int slot. Makes sense. Obviously, Orochi won't have a matching slot, but it's fine. She also provides a 0.5 chain boost, which is pretty good, but we're going to use Mihawk probably because Mihawk will give us more damage overall, though, yeah, and remember, you do have the final tap of Uta as well, so it makes sense, but ideally, make sure to use Onami and Shinobu special before using Custard, because they actually do a little bit of orb shuffling. They also do provide color affinity, which is pretty good. So you got color affinity, attack boost, orb boost, matching slots, chain lock. It's okay. You do have the final tap as well, which will add a pretty substantial amount of damage depending on, you know, how high the final tap level is on the friend captain Uta that you decide to go with. But this is an okay team that should be able to get through the Sci fight even post level 30. It's just a matter of how much damage can it deal and how long will that last for. Of course, if you have the summonable characters like Legend Chopper, for example, that's going to substantially increase the amount of damage that you're able to do in this fight, and he's going to be very good. He gets rid of the bind, he gives you color affinity, going to be more of an optimal unit in this quest, but if you don't have it, it's fine. You should be able to get some stuff done either way. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck on the farming when it eventually comes out. Hopefully you guys understand what's going on in terms of the Kizuna, and of course when it does come out, I'll provide you guys with a couple of different teams, including free to play. I'll likely try and build a 1-team versus all. Haven't thought of it just yet, but we'll try and figure something out, and that's going to be that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.